Insert art. Hello. We're doing a Pokemon video today.
Yay.
So, we are doing Pokemon Infinite Fusion. What does that mean? There's a game called Pokemon Infinite Fusion where you fuse all the Pokemon into maybe infinite combinations of weird abominations.
With the amount of Pokemon, then, infinite sounds correct.
Probably. It's kind of scary. I strongly recommend everyone have a look at this, check it out, look at all the sprite art. I have no idea how they have done this, how they've made all these combinations.
Yeah, we were talking about it before. Is there a bunch of sprite artists out there just going forever making
maybe.
all these different combinations, or
We've had a look, and I for one, I'm obsessed with this.
We've both had a look through it. We could have spent the whole day just going through them.
Easily. Yeah, I am a little bit obsessed with this, so...
Yeah, I came in and Morgan's like, have you seen this?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to just channel that into making something cool.
Yeah, so we've both picked one we like.
Yep, we're going to jump into it.
We're too excited, we're going to get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I had a look for a fusion that I really liked, and yeah, I was sort of just browsing and I found one that I loved. It was Raichu and Machamp mixed together.
It's not a combination I would have even considered.
No, and it's so cute. And so I was just like, well, yeah, this is so my speed, so up my alley. And I just I didn't even think twice and just jumped straight into a pose. I saw it in my head and I had so much fun with this one. I mean, any opportunity to draw forearms, a big muscular four-armed creature thing, I'll take that. Even though I kind of hate it. I got to draw four hands.
I was going to say, you were complaining about having to draw four hands.
Yes. I love it. I gravitate toward it so quickly, but I do not like it.
Your brain goes, yay, final product is going to be so cool. But then you realize halfway through that you have to do that.
And that's such a curse with stuff like this. Art in general, you see the final product and you, let's do it. And then you're like, oh, this is hard. Turns out making things that look cool is really f***ing hard. The interesting thing about this one is it looks like they've taken some of this design from something called Pokken. There's a Pikachu wrestler character in that game. It's a fighting game for Pokemon.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty rad. I think it was on
Never heard of that before.
Wii U. That's why you've never heard of it before.
Oh, okay.
Because it was on Wii U. Oh, Sonny. Yeah, this was aside from the obvious difficulties I had with the anatomy, so much fun. Yeah, the sketch phase was a lot of fun. It was hard. As soon as I worked that out though, the lines came together really quickly. That was just a really enjoyable sort of cathartic, almost is meditative, is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is now.
It was that. Once you sort of solve all the problems in that sketch phase, then when you get to the inking part, it's just fun. I used the Jazza Impact ink brush from our brush pack.
I love that brush.
It's my favorite.
I've always struggled with you know how you've got the black shadow areas. They scare the crap out of me because they're so committed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And how do you know where to put them so it looks good? How did you know to put it under his pec there, but not under his leg down the bottom?
I see what you're saying. So it does look like a very chunky aesthetic thing I'm doing, and it adds weight to the picture. It's hard to explain, but I'm trying to draw where all the trapped light is. So where his pec has folded over his rib cage. Yeah, that's where there's a lot of light getting trapped.
And is it also a way to separate that forearm from that torso area? So it's more obvious that it's a separate...
Yeah, exactly. So it's it's not me saying, oh, black would look cool here. It's me saying, this is where this should go, and this is where I can use an area of black to make the picture more clear. Yeah.
It always freaks me out. Every time I've been here, I'm going to do it today, and I get to it, I'm like, no!
Yeah, damn. I'm the same though. I used to be terrified of line work.
Yeah.
You'd
never know.
Oh really? Oh thanks. Yeah, I used to avoid it like the plague. I was just no thank you, I'm not doing that. And I would do it and then I delete it immediately and cry like a baby.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, this was really fun. It came together pretty quick. I think one of the things you can do is just spend a little bit more time on the rough sketch. Even though it's a rough sketch, but it's when you have all your sort of form issues addressed in that phase, then when it comes to line work, that's when you can relax and just sort of literally trace over the top.
The line work phase is not where you want to be trying to fix a problem.
Exactly. That's a way better way of putting it. Yeah, that's why you're not problem solving. You're just making it look pretty.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is why I really wanted to do this, was because it's so easy. Like, you've already got this great character. It's just done in pixel art, like taking it to that next level. This is basically just color picking. There's not really much to say about
so
that.
much fun watching you color in.
Oh, yeah?
Because like I'm like, that would be so fun.
Yeah. It is seriously like using a coloring book.
Yeah.
But you did it.
Yeah.
It brings me joy, the same joy. At this point, I'm sort of just playing with how I want to tie this off and finish it and put a bow on it. And I thought, obviously I've got to get that red lightning in there because it looks rad. And this guy, I feel like he's so cute and he's like kind of tough, but he's got that sort of like luchador, like wrestler persona. I wanted to get him like flying in, going for like a big like electric slam or something. I don't know. That's what was in my head. I have no idea where he gets the pants on. I don't think that's how Pokemon work. I don't know who drew this, by the way. I don't know where, like, this is crazy. The amount of like work that's gone into this Pokemon Infinite Fusion game is like nuts. There's so many sprites. Please look them up. And yeah, that's my Raichu. I'm so stoked. I had a blast.
You know what makes me laugh? Since we did the children's art video together, every time you write something at the bottom of your I'm like, oh, there's baby Morgan being like, I'm so cool. I think you did awesome.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm just.
Thank you so much.
Every time you do something, it's just so polished.
Oh, thank you.
Like, so jelly.
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 So, this is, actually my last video for Insert Art. Where do I begin? Actually leaving for some personal reasons. It wasn't an easy choice to come to. I didn't really want to leave, but some stuff's come up for me in my personal life that I need to go deal with. Taking a break for a little while and from a lot of things, and that includes fun stuff like this, all the support from the fans and commenters and all the goodwill, all the fun we've been having. Like, that's been amazing to see and massive like pick me up for me, and has really made it really fun. And so I just wanted to thank everyone for supporting the channel and supporting me and being nice. So I'm gonna go do my own thing for a while and take a break. I'm not gonna say I'm not coming back, but not for a while at least. So to anyone who is out there struggling with something related to mental health, whether it be depression or anxiety or OCD or anything at all, you're not alone. And if you feel like you need help, just reach out, just put your hand up and someone will help you. There's people around you who care about you and want you to get through it. Don't know where this is going in the video, but I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see if any of the editors can make sense of this mess. It's hard to talk about this shit, but it's really important. So this is my version of that. And thanks for listening. That's it.
So I was so taken by like a whole lot of the sprites, and then I just happened across Unown and Ninetales.
What did you type in for that?
I was looking at all the unknowns. I can't remember which one it was. It was an eyeball one. We were talking before about like we should do our favorite Pokemon, and I was like, well, I've done Ninetales like in a video previously, but Ninetales doesn't get the love. So I looked up whether there was an unknown Ninetales, and like the eyeballs were just like, I was like, I have to. There's something about like the eyeballs being real creepy that I wanted to do. I looked at it and I felt uncomfortable, so I had to draw it.
That's awesome.
So I wanted to do like a interesting fox pose, and I was sort of thinking more like a jumping one, but then I came across this little guy, and
oh my god,
initially I was like, yeah, I could do something really cool with all the tails and the eyeballs, and then I spent 10 years trying to draw the pose.
Exactly 10 years.
Exactly 10 years.
I mean, sometimes I feel that for sure, like you can get so stuck.
I really should have just used it as a thought reference, not an actual reference. So I got really stuck trying to replicate it, and it's one of those things that there are certain real life things that work in a photo photo, but it doesn't matter how well you draw it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look right as a drawing.
That's the thing though, because it's like I always recommend people use references. I didn't use one and it worked out, but I feel like that's just lucky.
I think also because you know what you're drawing, like
Right,
because you've done so many drawings like that with reference.
Exactly.
So that's like learnt knowledge.
Absolutely. Just because I don't have a reference in front of me doesn't mean I'm not referencing things.
Yeah.
That I remember.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I ended up giving up on trying to do like the tail in the direction that the photo had and all that, and sort of went with trying to put the head in like more of a position of flow with the body, and then went crazy with the tails. Sort of found like a little chaotic, happy medium that I was okay with, and got stuck on the line work. And I initially was going to do some really like fine lines, and then I wanted to sort of thicken up some areas of it. But once I drew the eyes in, I had this like really grunge feeling to it, and I kind of wanted to follow that. I don't know what about it, like what about all the eyeballs gave me this like grunge feeling. We were listening to a lot of grunge music while we were working today. Maybe that influenced a little bit.
So, probably. I think it looks great.
So, like,
I love the
punk rock.
There should be more punk rock in Pokemon.
Yeah, maybe that's another video. So I started doing like redoing the line work really like sort of grungy, sketchy, which I mean you guys don't get to see the behind the scenes of when we're drawing, but every single video I spend my time drawing holding a baby in one hand.
It's so impressive.
So I struggle a lot to get my line work really clean because I can't get close enough to the computer, and like I'm sort of balancing at an angle that I can hold a baby who may or may not be asleep or eating at the time. So doing the really sketchy lines was actually quite freeing because I could just sort of like follow the flow that felt natural, and then also you didn't have to worry too much about it, my shakes in my hand or anything like that. And the one thing Morgan said when I picked this sprite was, you've just picked one with no colour, which is like what I usually gravitate towards, like all the colour.
I was so surprised. I was like, what do you mean? There's so many colourful ones. But I feel like this one's great because it's so close to that real cursed, like, kind of uncanny look that some of these have.
So keeping in mind that I didn't pick one with colour, I said to Morgan, I like colour in, I could put it in the shadows.
Yeah.
So I decided to like lean into the grunge some more, and I used one of the chalk brushes in the Jazza brush pack and just did as much shading with deeper colours, and then I went in to do highlights with like a yellow just to try and like make it like that sort of, it was totally the music. I was about to say like you know like those old music posters with like I don't know Green Day or like
Yes, absolutely.
That's sort of where it sort of ended up going.
The red is really like, I didn't expect that.
Red I very rarely use. I think I'm adding it more recently actually. But like the one thing I wanted to do with this that drew me to it was the eyeballs. And I wanted to do like sort of a flat Pokemon but then make the eyeballs a little bit more like realistic and creepy.
Juicy.
Yeah. So I wanted to make them, rather than having a white base to the eye, I wanted it to be like slightly pinky, like it's sort of like creepier.
Oh yeah, like bloodshot.
Just off, like not quite right. And so I think that's where the red came from. I was like, I'll pick it up more with the red. And then it just kind of like worked with the rest of it anyway, I think.
How many tails?
Let's not count the tails.
No?
One of them's behind somewhere.
7?
8, I think.
8? Okay.
1, 2, 3,
I can't
4,
count
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, cool.
And one behind.
Yeah, one behind.
Sometimes, like, you draw a hand and you realize it's got an extra finger or less of a finger, and you're not even an AI bot doing AI art. So once I sort of got all the grunge down, I got to get stuck into the eyeballs. Got to a point where I thought, if I actually did spend like a heck of a time making them super realistic, it probably wouldn't work as well with how grungy flat I'd made the rest of it. So I did some shadows, and then I decided I was just going to put the sort of pop a highlight on and see if that worked. And I think it actually was fine.
I literally was like, ooh, juicy.
Like, yeah, that's exactly what you said.
No, I think it looks great.
The other thing I think we should point out in this too is Morgan had a small contribution suggestion.
Oh my God. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
For a placement of a certain eyeball.
Yeah. Actually.
Should we not point out which one it is?
Let's not point it out. Everyone try and figure out which eyeball I
suggested,
which one I placed. It was a bit of a cheeky suggestion by me, if that's a vague clue for you.
So yeah.
I think you did great.
It's very much not my normal style.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before. It's like one of my favorite things about being on this channel is we can try new things and like push it in a way maybe we wouldn't normally in our own practice.
Yep.
So that was like super fun.
I think it took me so long to figure out which one I wanted to do, and now after doing this, I just want to do a million more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we managed to get really different results, like interpreting them our own ways and sort of like our own little flair. Like, I'd love to see some fan art or some other people like having a go. Like, it's a cool concept, and I think there's so much opportunity to make cool artwork.
Yeah, so if you guys want to do your own
Have a crack.
Infinite Fusion, is that what it's called?
Pokemon Infinite Fusion.
So you can show us on Discord, or you can tag us on Twitter, which is hashtag #insertfanart. And yeah, we'd love to see what you guys ended up coming up with too.
Absolutely.
So if you loved these guys, they may or may not become a print in our merch store. We have t-shirts, we've got pins. Alicia's been like making pins out of our logo and some of the cool stuff on our wall here.
Looks great already. I'm so keen.
There's like a whole lot of stuff in the works as well, and we're always open to suggestions. Ariel and I are really pushing for some bubble tea cups, but we'll see. If you want to check out the merch store, you can find us at, I've been told by the editors, I don't have to say www.
Oh, really?
No.
That's another thing you have to do.
Just insertartshow.com.
Beautiful. That's easy.
There's also like a HTTP and a //
No, you don't need to. You don't need to add those.
So check it out. It's really, I think it's just some really fun stuff on there. So you can rep the channel. We should say a big thank you to our Patreons as well.
Absolutely.
Patrons,
thank you so much.
Our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much. You guys like make everything happen behind the scenes here. All right. Well, I guess that's us for today.
Yeah.
Insert out.
Insert out.
Bye.
Bye-bye.